One should live alone in a secluded place. So how do we do that? How do we live alone in a... Do we do that? The answer is yes. How do we do it? Okay, what else? Where else? Temple. What else? Okay, you make your home a temple, right? Or, according to the Lord Chaitanya, you live alone in a secluded place only by associating with devotees. So this is a secluded place. The door is closed, right? Nobody's bothering us. We're locked up together nicely. Okay, so one should live alone in a secluded, here it is, and should always carefully control one's mind. Because we just read, the mind can become your friend or your enemy. One should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. A devotee loses feeling of possessiveness. How? By understanding what? Everything belongs to Krishna. Excellent. All right. Next section, 11 through 19. How to practice yoga. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, to practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusha grass on the ground, then cover it with a deer skin and a soft cloth. Why deer skin? Huh? No, somebody said something. Yes. Keep the snakes away. Something about the deer skin and the snakes. That's what Prabhupada... Was that Krishna Kumar? I'm proud of my students. My students are excellent. All right. Should be neither too high nor too low, and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart. Look at that. That is important. Not to become more fit for sense gratification, which is what all these Hollywood yogis are doing. They're doing all this Hollywood yoga. Why? Because they want to enjoy better sense gratification. And dare I say it, they're doing yoga for better sex life. I know. That's what they're doing it for. But not according to Krishna. Purify the heart. Again, Lord Chaitanya's first instruction, Chaito Darpanam Marjanam, cleansing. That's why we do yoga. Not to become famous. No, we're doing this for purification. Why do we do anything in devotional service? It's for purification. Somebody was asking me a couple of weeks ago. So it was Rabindranath. We were having a discussion after class that there's three kinds of devotees. Devotee in Tamagun, Rajagun, Sattvagun. So the devotee in Tamagun is angry, very puffed up, jealous, envious. Look at me. Look at me. I am at the front. See me? All right? Then the devotee in the mode of passion. Yes, I like doing devotional service because I get so many nice material things from Krishna. Then there's the devotee in the mode of goodness. And that's the key. The devotee in the mode of goodness is doing it because he wants to become purified. He wants to become cleansed. He wants to become free from all material contamination. That's our platform. That's our platform. We are all trying to do devotional service to become purified. And the devotee who is purified, so say you reach that stage. You're now purified. Do you stop devotional service? Why do you continue? Yeah, but what is the real impetus? Yes, you're doing it now out of love. You're doing it spontaneously. You're not doing it for any other cause. Like Prabhupada, you might recall, I did this at one of the later Anakut at Mehta's house, Sriji Dham. I played that section of Prabhupada where he's explaining the residents of Vrindavan don't care whether Krishna is God. They don't care. They just love Krishna. And then there's that point where Prabhupada says, the goal of the Krishna consciousness movement is to become one of the Gopi Janas. That's why I like this movement. Who wants to become a Gopi Jana? Jai, you're in the right club. Very good. So that's that spontaneous platform. You become purified. You still do devotional service, but now it's spontaneous out of love. Very good. By controlling one's mind, senses, and activities, and fixing the mind on one point. So for devotees, what's that one point? Krishna. Krishna's Lord. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life. See, that's why I was mentioning before. So many of these Hollywood yogis, they read this, they'll say, what are you talking about? They don't like this. They don't like this. But they don't understand what is the real yoga. Now, who can answer this philosophical question? Devoid of fear. According to Bhagavatam, what's the root cause of fear? What's that? Yes, there you go. Death is true. That's the ultimate fear. But the root cause is what? Yes, you're identifying with the material body or the material energy. That's why you have fear. It's a verse that appears in the 11th canto when the Nava-Yogendras are answering the questions of Maharaj Nimi. So one of the first statements is Bhayam. You forget or you see a difference between you and Krishna. You see yourself as Krishna's competitor, and as soon as that happens, fear. What is that song we sing all the time? Abhaya Charanara. Fearless where? Yes, fearless at the lotus feet. Krishna, Prabhupada's name. Abhaya Charanara Vinda. Fearless at the lotus feet of. Like, why was Prahlad unafraid? Because he was fixed on Krishna. He was unafraid. Poison, snakes, boiling oil, elephants, cliff. Nothing could harm him. Why? He's fixed on Krishna. That made him fearless. One should meditate upon me within the heart. That's also significant. One should meditate upon me. So Krishna is saying, this is how you do yoga. You meditate on me. And make me the ultimate goal of life. So, is Krishna the ultimate goal of your life? Then you're a yogi, according to Krishna. What did Lord Chaitanya say is the best yogi? What did Lord Chaitanya say? What did Lord Chaitanya say are the topmost yogis? Gopis. Are gopis going like this? Oh. What are the gopis doing? What are they remembering? Yes. No matter what going on, they're milking the cows, cooking, taking care of husbands, taking care of, because they all had chores to do. They were all working all day long, getting up from Mangal Artik, churning butter, cleaning the house, cooking. Gopis were not lazy, sitting on, hammock, sunbathing. No, they're working all day long. They're in the village. When you go to your Goshala, are you like on vacation? No. Right? You're working all day, right? No? That's not what I see in the video. No, you're like Mother Yashoda. You're giving them orders. Okay, now do this. That's also work. That's also work. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to the gopis. The gopis were always working all day long, but at the same time, always thinking and remembering Krishna. And I mentioned last week at Veena and Prem Gupta's house, what is the actual thing the gopis are meditating on? Nope. Who came last week? None of you came. So I mentioned what they are. Krishna Kumar, what did I say is their meditation on? No. The sound of Krishna's flute. You remember that? Now you remember. This is right in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm not making this up. This is not a Narantara purport. This is right there in Chaitanya. The gopis are always meditating on the sound of Krishna's flute, and that keeps them enlivened, enthused, encouraged. Then I mentioned, how can we follow in the footsteps of the gopis? Should I get a flute tape and play it? How do we? Yes. What does that mean? Yes. The gopis are always meditating on the sound of Krishna's flute. We should be always meditating on the sound of the Hare Krishna Maha. Let's all do it.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thus practicing constant control of the body, mind, and activities. The mystic transcendentalist, one's mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God or the abode of Krishna by cessation of material existence. There is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi, O Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. One who is regulated in one's habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines one's mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, do you see certain things being repeated? They're being repeated for emphasis, signifying it's important. Material desires keeps coming up in today's lesson. One is said to be well established in yoga. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in one's meditation on the transcendent self. The story of Ambarish, when Durvasa Muni plucked out the hair and created the demon to kill Ambarish, what was Ambarish doing? He was just standing there, meditating on Krishna. What did Krishna do to protect Ambarish? Sent the Sudarshan Chakra. But he didn't like go, oh. He just remained steady on meditation, on the transcendent self. All right? The next 4 verses is called the perfection of yoga. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, in the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities. What if it said one's mind is completely restrained from spiritual mental activities? What would you say? Huh? Right. Wrong. We don't want to be restrained from spiritual mental activities. We just explained. The gopis have a mental activity. What is it? Yeah, they're meditating on the sound of Krishna's flute. That's a mental activity. So that's why it's important. Restrained from material mental activities. Those who are pujaris, they're always meditating how I'm going to dress Krishna tomorrow. In my case, I have to constantly think, like tomorrow I have to go to San Diego. So I have to start thinking, what am I going to talk about when I get there tomorrow? My mind has to be engaged in how to do the service. So that's not material mental activities. As long as it's engaged in service to Krishna, then it becomes a spiritual mental activity. Or some of you might think like this: what am I going to cook for Krishna today? That's a spiritual mental activity. When your mind is in, or you kirtaniyas, you're thinking, how can I make this nice melody that everybody can join? That's a... Okay. Did a demon come and disrupt everything? When Krishna was put underneath the cart, and Krishna kicked the cart, all the utensils on the cart came crashing down. All right. So that's an important point. You utilize mental activities to serve Krishna. By practice of yoga, this perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. So this tells you how long you have to do bhakti yoga until you get to this stage where you actually see yourself by your pure mind and relish and rejoice in yourself. As I've said 100 times, you haven't even seen yourself yet. You've seen the mirror, but that's not you. You have not, neither me, I'm not any different. We have not seen our real self by the pure mind. We're getting there. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. When Dhruva Maharaj, when Krishna actually appeared to him, it's explained, all of his senses became enlivened. Same with Narada. When Narada actually got the appearance of Krishna, Narada said, I felt oneness with Krishna. And he says, all my limbs were separately enlivened. So that's what this is talking about. Real transcendental happiness. Established thus, one never departs from the truth. And upon gaining this, one thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. You become free from material identification, no more miseries. Everything has to do with the mind. Abhayacharana, the mind is fixed on Krishna. Brahmabhuta Prasanatma, you're happy. Your mind forgets Krishna, immediately so much anxiety. So if you find yourself in anxiety, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, the next section, this is the last section. The finer points of yoga. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith. Prabhupada explains the regulative principles, the 4 regulative principles. You have to follow them enthusiastically, not like, oh, Gurudev, I'll try. No. You have to be very determined. Yes, I will follow these regulative principles and chant 16 rounds. I'll try. No. That's not initiation. Initiation means now I'm determined. That's what the meaning of a vow is. A vow means, yes, I will do this come hell or high water. I will do it. So that's determined. And faith. You get faith associating with devotees. Tonight we have nice contingency of devotees. So our faith tonight for every one of us has increased just by being in each other's association. Same with me. I've told you 1 billion times. I get so much out of doing these programs because all these years, Krishna Prema, you know, from the beginning in 94, I did these programs. I got so much from you guys. You guys taught me so many things. So many things you taught me. So I did this for selfish reasons because I'm getting so much benefit from you. Thank you for your association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya bacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. You've given me so much. Thank you. Okay, determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. Lord Chaitanya mentions this. What deviates you from the path? One thing will deviate you from the path. No. Association with non-devotees. That's the root cause of all deviation. You start associating with the wrong crowd, it gets into your head. Then what comes next? Doubt. I was speaking to a man last week. He came over. So much nonsense he was speaking. Doubting. He was actually saying, Ravana is better than Ram. Can you believe it? So I could understand somebody has poisoned this man to say such a crazy thing. You know, it's just astounding. It's astounding. But there's a cause for that. The cause is the wrong type of association. The wrong kind. So you associate with simple, pure-hearted devotees. That's the key. Look for devotees who are simple, humble, and sincere. That's who you want to sit with. That's who you want to be with. Simple, pure-hearted devotees. Stay away from nonsense people. Stay away from materialists, non-devotees, because that is going to break your determination and faith and deviate you. One should abandon without exception, once again, how many times in this section have we heard material desires? Must be 5 or 6 times. Krishna has said material desires is a no-no. Look, born of mental speculation. That's where it comes from. This was also mentioned in chapter 2. In chapter 2, the same thing was mentioned by Krishna. Material desires comes from the crazy mind. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence, sustained by full conviction. So, it's not going to happen overnight. Gradually, step by step, little by little. And thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. From wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature. So Krishna is pointing out something about the mind. Who created the mind? Krishna. Everything comes from Krishna, right? So the manufacturer is telling you, by the way, it's by nature flickering and unsteady. The manufacturer is telling you, hello, the mind that you have, I made it, it's flickering and unsteady. By nature, that's the way it is. It's like a dog's tail. You ever see a straight? No. It's curved and it's always wagging, right? So the mind is just like that. It's like a dog. All right. One must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. And that is not easy. So what's the quickest way to control the mind? Quickest. Yes. Hare Krishna, immediately. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. That's the quickest way. It happens even in japa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And then somebody says, Hare Krishna. Oh. Right? Yes. Huh? Yeah, but you're taking 20 minutes to finish one round. Yeah, very good, Madhav. We'll give you that. Very good. Okay. One must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me, so once again, this is twice now, in this section Krishna said, to fix the mind on him, verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. Such a yogi is beyond the mode of passion, realizes one's qualitative identity with the Supreme. Tell me if this statement is correct. Realizes one's quantitative identity with the Supreme. Is that true or false? Why? What's that? Yes. What did you say? Yes. We are fragmental. Is the part equal to the whole? No. That's Mayavad. Mayavad philosophy says the part is equal to the whole. No, 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 no. Fragmental. We're very tiny. Same way, earlier we talked where Krishna says, I remember all my births, but you do not, Arjuna. The difference between God and the living entity. So you will never have quantitative equality with God. You're always going to be jiva. Even in the spiritual world, you don't stop being a jiva. I'm in Goloka now. Now I've become Krishna. Where's Radha? No, it doesn't work that way. You'll always be, right? The story of Rikasura. He wanted that benediction to get rid of Shiva so that he could have Parvati. That's what he was thinking. I'll get the benediction from Shiva, then I'll kill him. Parvati is all mine. It doesn't work that way. And thus is freed from all reactions to past deeds. Thus, the self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he or she ever lost to me. This is the same thing Krishna told the gopis at Kurukshetra. If you remember, when Krishna left Vrindavan to kill Kamsa, before leaving, what did he tell the gopis? I will come right back. I just have to kill a few demons. Well, what happened? He didn't come back. He got entangled. So it was many, many years when they finally met at Kurukshetra for the, what did they meet for? What for? Solar eclipse. So at that time, Krishna was telling the gopis, actually there is no separation. And this is the basis of what he was saying. That if you're seeing me everywhere, because they were, although Krishna was not present, they were seeing Krishna everywhere, right? In his, what does Prabhupada say? His bhava manifestation, right? Out of ecstasy. So they were seeing Krishna. So Krishna was saying, there is no separation because you're always remembering me. There is no separation. Same thing here. I am never lost, nor is he or she ever lost to me. If you're always remembering Krishna, that is good as Krishna being personally present. Just like if you're in front of the deity, are you in front of Krishna? He's there. You're with Krishna. Haribol. Just stay. Spend the rest of your life just with Krishna. Of course, you have other things that you have to do, but the philosophy is there. Krishna is there. You're looking at Krishna. Such a yogi who engages in the worshipful service of the Supersoul, knowing that I and the Supersoul are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. One is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to one's own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. Same thing he said in chapter 2. The wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. All right, everybody chant the Maha Mantra.